All right, joining us now also is criminal defense attorney Joseph Lowe. Joseph, I want to add you back into the mix. We're covering this live trial together. I'm happy to have you. Big thing about this is, did James Prokopovitz really call his wife when she went missing? Because there is being alleged that he provided inconsistent statements and that, he said he called her when she went missing and he really didn't. There was another piece of testimony that he said he called her from his office phone, but then told the private investigator that he would have been home at that time. We're seeing these inconsistencies. What do you think about it?
Well, that's very, very important for the government, is to point out the inconsistencies because it allows them to say or accuse him of being a liar. That's very, very important to a prosecutor's case because when they don't have enough evidence, like in this case, they go for character assassination. But it's powerful and it's be very persuasive. And if he doesn't find some objective facts like cell phone tower records to corroborate his version of the story, he's in trouble.
And let me ask you one more question about that, because this is a two-part case, right? In the sense that the jury has to consider, did he actually kill his wife? And then they also have to consider, did he lie about everything that happened? Did he lie to the government? And if the jury first goes into that deliberation room and they say, you know what, the evidence shows obstruction, perjury, do them thinking that he lied necessarily mean that he also murdered his wife? Or could they say, he lied, but for a different reason? What do you think?
You're absolutely right. In fact, I've had a number of murder cases where we had to just go ahead and admit while the defendant is on the stand that he had lied, not just once, not just twice, but 3 times. I actually got that verdict of not guilty back at 9/11. So no, it is quite common for people in this position being accused of this kind of crime to have inconsistencies. It's just how the jury wants to look at those. And they can actually forgive somebody who has lied in the past as long as they're willing to embrace it, like Mr. Prokopovitz has done.
So, Joseph, we've talked before about how, it's possible that prosecutors can actually win cases, a murder trial, without a body. But, Joseph, the idea of a defense attorney, there's a lot of room to work with in those kind of cases. And wouldn't you agree there's a lot of room to work with in this case in particular? It seems like the perfect case for a defense attorney when you're dealing with a murder charge, because you don't have the body, you don't have an understanding of what's going on. And what goes through that strategy of a defense attorney at this point, Joseph?
Sure. Well, when you consider the national average, those prosecutions across the country over our history that led with no body, not knowing where the deceased was at, has actually obtained a conviction 86% of the time. 86%. So it is rare, but the government still does quite well oftentimes with those type of cases. However, in this case, what is unusual, and you just mentioned, and is really giving the defense their power, is the mental health disabilities that this woman had. Not just one kind of mental health, but 3 different kinds. You've got the multiple personality disorders, you've got the depression disorder, and then you also have the suicidal disorder. And all that's being treated by meds and trying to be managed by a doc that can't do it. She keeps trying to kill herself, says the next time she does it, you'll never find her. You usually don't get those kind of facts on a defense. So that is really fueling the defense, and it's a huge burden for the government to overcome. So how do they do that? What does the government say when they're sitting around their table strategizing whether they take this to trial or not, how they win? And what they usually do is this. Well, I got an idea. Why don't we just call him a liar and some other names and make him look creepy and weird? And if he's creepy, weird, and a liar, well, no one will like him, and then we'll convict him, which is honestly pretty much how it goes in virtually every case. Does the government have such evidence? Clearly they do. You heard a little bit about it, and they're going to keep trying to smear his name and drag him through the mud.